Hey guys, KoBaC here, bringing you a brand new review for the new Halo Mattel Series 1 action figure line. Now this is the 6-inch Master Chief. I don't want any of that 12-inch stuff right now. I want to get in the 6-inch size, and very excited to start reviewing this. If you didn't know, McFarlane no longer makes Halo figures. Mattel does. Yeah, pretty big shakeup considering McFarlane was doing it for years. So we're going to cover a lot of stuff in this review. So let's first get into the packaging. One of the biggest things that's really cool about this line, there are 6 different figures in the Series 1, and all of them come with a different piece to build the Alpha Crawler, which we can see here on the back of the packaging. All the different figures are numbered, and then they tell you which part, basically, of the Alpha Crawler that you're getting. So Master Chief, number 1, of course, because he's the best, and that's basically the lower half of like the torso for the Alpha Crawler. So on the packaging, you can also see Chief without any of his armor on, which, if you didn't know, we're going to cover that later, but all of the armor is removable and then can be switched onto different Spartans. And then another picture here of Chief in his armor. Now, something cool that I like about the packaging for these new figures is that you actually get a nice picture on the side, and I know that some of you guys collect the boxes and keep them, and actually I think it's kind of nice to have kind of like additional artwork to keep the boxes, another incentive, because like with McFarlane figures, you have no reason to keep the boxes. And for me, I open everything. I don't keep anything in a box. If I keep it in a box, there's a reason. Something's wrong with me. I open everything. So, speaking of that, let's go ahead and actually get into opening this bad boy. Alright, now that we got them out of the packaging, let's go ahead and get right into the review. So since this figure is definitely from the new line, and you guys don't really probably know kind of how to judge what the scale of it is, we're going to get into the scale later, but just to go ahead and show you the height of the figure, he is a little tiny bit over 6 inches. So I would say he's probably about 17 centimeters for those who care about centimeters. I mean, I don't, you know, USA. But anyway, so paint job of the figure. Let's get into that first. And detail. The detail, I'd say, is there. I know that was one of the concerns that a lot of us had, was that the detail and the paint job was not going to be anywhere near McFarlane. I would say the detail is pretty decent. It's good. I like it. I feel that it's detailed enough to where I'm like, okay, it's Master Chief. It's pretty good. Paint job, it's kind of basic. And we kind of already knew that from the pictures that we were seeing on the internet. So, excuse my hiccup. It's pretty basic. Take a look here at the visor and the head. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad, you know, and I know that was a lot of our concerns, was that, oh my gosh, they look horrible, they look like they're McDonald's toys or something. I would not compare them to McFarlane, but I will tell you that the thing that I would prefer, and I mean this sincerely, is that I would prefer the figure to have better articulation and to be better as far as durability, and for them to be able to hold their weapons, than I would for them to have good paint jobs. That's just me. But we'll go ahead and get in that. So just show you a little bit of figure. I can see some things that I'd like to touch up, but overall, I think these are good. And I mean, these figures, I know that adults are going to purchase them. I'm an adult, and these figures are really awesome. But I mean, they're being sold also to like 8 and up. But, yeah, you know, anyway. Articulation. So, articulation here for the head, let's start there. Can look up and down. It can rotate 360, but because I don't want to gum it up, I'm going to be careful with it. Now, I will say real quick before we get into like everything else, I noticed that some of the joints of these figures, especially in the arms, are a little bit stiff. So please be careful when you first get these out of the packaging and you get all the like, oh, I'm going to just twist his arms and stuff. Just take your time and make sure that you don't break anything. Alright, so at the shoulder, we got a hinge, and that's all the way up, and I mean, that's pretty good. All the way down. Okay. It does rotate at the bicep a little bit. If you can get it right, it will rotate more. So I mean, like there, you can cross the arm, you know, and there's more that you can work with. It does bend at the elbow. Pretty standard range of motion there, extended. It doesn't go completely straight. Don't know why, but it doesn't. And it does sort of rotate here where the forearm meets the elbow, but I've noticed that with the Spartans, because this armor here, the forearm armor, is removable, it does sort of slide. It doesn't peg into place like most of the rest of the armor does. Excuse me. Like the way the rest of the armor does. So that does kind of impede a little bit. And then the hands have a hinge. Isn't that nice? They have a nice hinge, so you can bend them. Like this one actually is easier. So you can bend it, and then you can also rotate 360. That's pretty good. I like that. Definitely didn't... Well, we did have that, but I like that. Alright, and then bend at the waist. Good enough range of motion. The armor kind of blocks him to be able to lean forward more than that. The hips can kick all the way forward. Well, most of the way forward. I could probably get it up a little bit more. Cannot kick back very far, though. It stops pretty much at regular standing because of the way that his butt is shaped. I would have liked that to be changed so that he could at least kick his leg back a little bit. Does rotate here at the kind of like the middle of the hip, and then double knee joint. That is a fantastic. I'll zoom in here to show you guys. That is awesome because we did not have that with McFarlane, and that the knees were always one of the things that I always hated because it was never really good for posing and for animations. So I love that. That's really good. So the foot extended back down. There's no articulation in the shin, not that there should be, you know, designed after people. Bends at the ankle, and then the foot also can rotate 360. There is no toe articulation. And I will say that this is where we find one of the flaws of this particular Master Chief figure. I do not like that the armor for the feet is not just enclosed. Just close it off. I don't want to see toes. I don't want to see feet. I mean, as it is, Master Chief should have like a gap in between this piece of armor here. But if you're going to make it so that the armor is removable the way that Mattel has done it, please just close that off so we don't have to see that. But at least it's on the bottom of the feet, not like somewhere like on his face or something. You know, and then really, really gross. So, weapons that this figure comes with is the standard assault rifle, which is really, really nice. I like that he comes with an assault rifle. And then also a energy sword, which is really sweet. He also comes with 2 weapon pegs, which are here, rolling all over my nice background. And then a extra hand. So he comes with 2 hands that have a trigger finger. You can see there. And the trigger finger actually is a little bit bendy, just a tiny bit of the way the plastic is, so you can kind of work with it. McFarlane's hands were sometimes really, really stiff and did not like holding things. And then he also comes with another hand, which is designed for the energy sword and fits right in easily. Boom. Oh, wait. Boom. There we go. And what I like, energy sword's not falling out at all. Except right when I shook it a little too hard. But there you go. Now to kind of compare the weapons here. I don't have another assault rifle to compare from the Halo 5 line, but I do have an energy sword. This is a McFarlane energy sword. And if you can see, it's got a lot of detail work kind of like on the blade. It's not the best looking, but it's there. This blade, very plain. Nothing. Just transparent plastic. That's it. The hilts for both of these are different. I would say that they're both pretty much on par with each other. There's not a lot of detail work even in McFarlane's. So, I mean, take it or leave it. They're both kind of like the same. You'll notice that there's no connection pieces here, while this energy sword from Mattel has 2. And that's so that it's really strong when like McFarlane's like, oh, wiggly wobbly. But this is more accurate to how it should be. This is not. But, again, they're trying to sell these figures to like 8-year-olds and up. So, I mean, I think it's probably better to design that. And if you don't like it, kind of just cut it out, you know, when you get it. The hands are very easy to interchange. You just pull it out, take the other one, pop it in. Boom, no problem. The assault rifle here fits very nicely into his hand. And because they give you a trigger finger on both hands, you can get him to hold the assault rifle in either hand. They do not include the energy sword hand for the left hand, only for the right. So, sort of a bummer, but not the end of the world. And it doesn't take a whole lot of work to be able to get him to hold his assault rifle. And I mean, he's really, really got it. That was a real big bummer for me for the Halo 5 line from McFarlane, is that they could not hold their stinking weapons so often because of the way that they were designed. So that, to me, is a huge, huge bonus. Two other things that need to be covered are that here is the crawler butt, which doesn't really help you unless you get all 6 of them, of the figures in the line. But he also does have the weapon peg holes that I do want to show. One in each thigh, and then one also in the back. Now, to compare this particular Master Chief to one of the Halo 5 McFarlane Master Chiefs, I got him here, and I mean, you can tell there is definitely a size difference. I will say, though, it is sort of a bummer that all of the Mattel stuff is not going to be in scale. And I know that was another concern that people have, is like, oh, they didn't finish Fireteam Osiris, no, they didn't finish Blue Team, and you know, all my stuff is in McFarlane scale. Honestly, I feel like when I look at this Master Chief compared to this one feels a bit bulkier, and I like that. Because to me it's like, okay, you have to imagine that there is a person inside of here. And this Chief, he seems incredibly, like he would be like a stick person in order to fit in this armor. This one feels like there actually might be like a guy inside. And I like that it's bulkier. I mean, that to me was something I liked all the way back to Combat Evolved, is that the armor was bulky, it was big, it felt strong and powerful and menacing, you know, against the Covenant. And then you kind of started getting like Halo 2 and Halo 3, and then, you know, now in Halo 5, and you're like, he's kind of getting skinny. Like, is Master Chief not eating? Does he need like some Twinkies or something to kind of bulk up? Because I think he's getting kind of thin. But, you know, that's my thing. Whatever. Alright, so here is Master Chief in his birthday suit. There is like 15 different pieces of armor. We'll take a look here at the Chief without his armor on. And we got kind of a look of this back, not of Chief, but of like the Spartans without their armor on, more of like this kind of like skin-tight suit that's underneath the armor, back in Halo 4 with the cutscene at the very end, and a couple others, but you know, the very end right before the credits. So it's pretty cool. You know, because the armor does attach with like peg holes, I mean, you've got these pegs all over the place of the rest of the body. You know, overall, it's not bad. It's not great. I mean, it's, you know, I don't think a lot. It's good that they put the detail work underneath the armor, because one, you can take it off and then you can kind of see what the rest of the Spartan looks like. You know, instead of it just being like really, I don't know, like bald and all smooth, and all you do is plug back in the armor, you know, because that's sort of how it used to be. Anyway, the only downside that I would see with this particular thing is that I don't really care for his butt still. And I'm not a butt guy, but it just feels really wide and kind of like hangs off the edge here of like where his hip is. And I'd really rather have that articulation with the back of his leg rather than his butt being so big. So, holding Master Chief naked in my hands. Wow, never thought the day would happen. But it's here. Wow. Wow. So overall, I'm going to go ahead and give this figure 5 out of 5. To me, the only possible downside that I can see with this whole figure line, one being that they're not in the scale of the previous Halo figures, but I mean, maybe they wanted to kind of do them a little bit different just because it's like, hey, this is our stuff, this isn't McFarlane. The second being the paint job is not exactly where I would like it. That's it. I love the articulation. I love the weapon choices. I love that he can hold his gun. I love that he feels like he's a bulkier Spartan. I like it. I think they're really cool. And I would recommend you guys pick at least one of these up just to see how you like it, and to kind of go from there. And that the armor's interchangeable, that's a nice little fan service, because I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter to me if the armor is interchangeable, because I kind of got over that with like Halo 4 and then now in Halo 5, and the armor is not interchangeable. That was a big deal, like with Halo Reach and Halo 3 figures that McFarlane did, was that the armor was interchangeable. But I mean, unless you have different Spartans that are the same color, or one where you want, okay, I want a Master Chief green mixed in with, I don't know, a yellow Athlon Spartan, you know, and kind of making some kind of theme. It doesn't really, like, make me super happy, but it probably will for other people. So, and the fact that it also comes with parts to be able to build an additional figure. I mean, you buy 6 and you get a 7th one for free. That's cool, and it's a crawler, and they only released one other crawler from McFarlane, so I mean, that's a nice figure that doesn't really exist out there that people can get. So, I think it's really cool. So overall, I'm going to say 5 out of 5. I put a link down in the description for you guys to be able to buy this off of Amazon if you want, and I appreciate you guys, and I really want to know what you guys think about these figures. I mean, are you really disappointed in the scale? Do you really wish that they were painted better? Do you really wish that they still improved upon the articulation? Or what, you know, what do you wish was included that you don't see included with this Master Chief? Because one thing is that, you know, at one point I tried to contact McFarlane and try to get involved with them, and I never heard anything. And I'm kind of hoping that maybe Mattel will be different, and maybe they'll watch some of these reviews, not just by me, but by others out there, and read the comments, and maybe be able to, like, help make a difference with the line as it moves forward. So I'm excited for a new future for the Halo figures. I know it's not a big deal maybe to some, but to me, I'm excited about this. So anyway, guys, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about this line so far, and what you're looking forward to. Anyway, guys, thank you again tremendously for watching and supporting this channel. It's been around a long time, and I'm excited to continue to keep it alive and keep bringing content. Anyway, guys, talk to y'all later. See ya.